There is something building in the east, Honjo said in his earphones. Nataka glanced left, beyond the gray-green wing, where a squall line was beginning to form. There were always squalls in these strange seas, and sometimes they were intense. They didn't usually form this early in the day, however. "Lieutenant Usa has already seen it," he replied, watching Usa's plane bank left, away from the distant coast they'd been approaching so brazenly. Type 99s were slow and fat, easy prey for any good fighter, even if they were surprisingly agile. Regardless, Nataka wasn't concerned. There were no good enemy fighters in the area. As far as he knew, there were no enemy fighters left at all. Without hesitation, Nataka turned his plane to follow his lieutenants. "Maybe a big tanker, or some poor lonely freighter is trying to hide in that squall," Honjo speculated predatorily. Nataka nodded. It was certainly possible. The frequent squalls were the only protection left for those desperate ships fleeing Java. "I just hope, if there is, Lieutenant Usa won't report it," Honjo continued. "Those greedy Bacano and Second Fleet will want us to lead them to it so they can blast it with their battleships, even if it's a rowboat." Nataka nodded again. There'd been a lot of that. Slowly he eased his plane closer to Usa's, and they approached the squall together. Was it just his imagination, or did the rain already seem closer than it should? They were flying 350 kilometers per hour, but either the thing was growing much more quickly than any squall he'd seen, or it was moving toward them in an unprecedented fashion. It was also growing darker, and wasn't the usual purple-gray that one usually observed, but rather greenish and livid with dull pulses of lightning. Strange. "Nataka!" came Usa's clipped, terse voice in his ears. "A ship, 2 o'clock, low." Nataka suppressed an exasperated sigh. Of course it was low if it was a ship. He strained to see over the black-painted cowling of his engine. Yes, all alone on the brilliant purple sea, a lone freighter plodded helplessly along. She looked old, medium-size, with a single stack streaming gray smoke. Perhaps she'd seen them because she was clearly making for the growing squall. "We will attack together,"